Hi guys, in today's video I wanted to share a personal story about myself just so you guys can kind of get to know me, learn a little bit about me because my health is a huge part of who I am and who I am today and the journey I've been through. Now I can definitely tell you what this video is not. This is my disclaimer. I am not a doctor or a nurse or anybody in a medical field of any sort, and this is not an advice video for people to do what I did. I just merely wanted to share my story as to what I had to do to become healthy and to feel like I'm living somewhat of a normal, healthy life. It's important for all of us to find that happy medium in our own lives and be able to figure out what works for us. So alright, let's get started. So sorry I'm kind of casual and wearing a sweatshirt. It's just really cold in the house right now, and so I'm kind of bundled up in the moment. You know, I loved hamburgers, I loved french fries, I loved trying new foods. I just wanted to eat everything. Like, I am like addicted to food. Oh, I will also be, putting pictures up somewhere so you can kind of see like what I looked like through the years. So anyways, I kind of wanted to start because I think the journey kind of started more when I became pregnant with my son. I haven't talked about him yet. That is a story in and of itself. So I will down the road make a video about my son and what happened with him. But basically, he was stillborn. I lost him at birth. But again, I'll make a separate video telling all about that. Okay, so because of what happened with my son, and this was back in 2005, I was very depressed, obviously. It was a very hard time for me. And during that pregnancy, I was extremely depressed. And so I kind of just, and not like I was a real cautious eater to begin with, but I actually sought out very bad foods, like that whole where people get depressed and they just want to eat junk food. That's what I did, and I gained a lot of weight. It just became very, very unhealthy during my pregnancy, and then after my pregnancy, I didn't lose a whole lot of weight after, because usually you lose, you have the baby and you don't have a baby anymore, so you lose some of that weight. But he was so small that most of the weight was just me, like just I had gained that weight. And I'll put a few pictures up of how you can see how big I had gotten. And this is gonna get very TMI because this is about bodies and what bodies do and whatever. So be forewarned that I'm going to be talking about bathroom stuff. Okay, so skip ahead to after I had my daughter. So I gave birth to my daughter a year after I had my son. And so this was around the time when she was a toddler. So this was several years later after my son. Because my daughter was about 2 or 3 years old. And this is the TMI moment. I started having really, I'm not even kidding, really bad diarrhea, where I was literally going to the bathroom every 5 minutes. It wasn't just oh, I ate something and it's bothering me for a few hours. This was lasting for months, where I could not go to the bathroom every 5 minutes, and it felt like someone had their hands inside my stomach and was just wringing out my stomach. And it was just the worst pain I had ever felt in my life. It was just so excruciating. And of course I went to my doctor, and I'm not trying to make this sound like I hate doctors or anything, but in my own personal experience, especially with health things, doctors haven't been able to help me personally very much. And I'm not saying, oh, don't go to the doctor, because I still go to the doctor. I still, still need to see the doctor and make sure they can, help me with different things. But just for this particular thing with my health and eating and whatnot, they couldn't really help me in this. So anyway, so I went to the doctor about, going to the bathroom so often and just feeling sick and like not wanting to eat. And basically all the doctor told me was that they would just give me a pill to make me stop going to the bathroom. And I didn't like that idea, and it didn't sound helpful at all. I talked to my husband about it at the time, and he was like, like my mom, because his mother, is real into like naturopathic medicine and things like that. And so he brought it up to me. He's like, she used to do cleanses every once in a while to, kind of clear out her system. And he's like, maybe you just need a cleanse. And so I was like, wow, like I never thought of that, because my family didn't do anything like that. But that was like normal in his family. So anyways, so I found a colon cleanse, and it was just kind of like this like very fiber dense powder. I can't remember the name of it. I eat as healthy as I could, eating fruits and vegetables and whatnot. And no joke, like it was like clean, like I could tell it just cleaned me out. It was like spring cleaning for my insides. Like it felt so good. I felt like immediately like the dizzy spells stopped. Going to the bathroom so often stopped. Like it helped me kind of like become regular again as far as the bathroom thing. Okay, and then next we're gonna jump forward to, I think I was living in California at this time. So it was probably around 2010, 2011-ish, I think. And, I was still kind of just eating regular, still on soy milk, but still eating a fairly regular average diet. And the I can't talk. The dizzy spells returned full force, where like sometimes I just had to lay down for a few hours because I just couldn't function. I was like afraid to walk up and down stairs because the dizzy spells were just so bad. I had like no energy. Like I was very overweight. I would get so exhausted just from doing little things like that. And I was only like in my mid to late 20s at this time. And I was like, I'm way too young to be feeling so exhausted from doing these little minor household, cleaning projects or whatever. And my daughter was young at the time, and all I wanted to do was take her to the park and play with her. And I remember I did not even have the energy to run and play with her. I'd heard of like vegetarians and whatnot, and I always thought it was like kind of an interesting way of eating. And I was like, like maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I just need to try a new way of eating. And I didn't want to call it a diet, because it wasn't like I was only doing it for a short amount of time. Like I was changing the way I ate. So it was a lifestyle. It wasn't just a diet. So I started trying like meat replacements, and I don't remember the brands, but I would try like those Boca burgers. I think that was one of the brands. Like I would try like veggie burgers, and I tried like faux chickens. But my health, like I said, my health didn't improve enough for me to be satisfied with that. I was still having dizzy spells, still low on energy, like still just having all those things weighing me down, like my weight. And then I also wanted to mention real quick that certain things run in my family on my mother's side. Obesity being one of them, diabetes, high blood pressure, just things like that run in my mom's side of the family. And my husband, being a great man that he is, he just always helps me with stuff like this. He told me about this documentary movie, and I'm sure you've probably heard of it. I'll put a link down below to what the movie is and whatnot. But it's this movie called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. And it's this documentary where this man, I think he's from Australia, and I can't remember his name, so sorry about that. I'll like put it down below as well. But he made a documentary where he was going through like what I went through, like where he was just sick all the time and doctors really couldn't do anything. And he was just like miserable, like all the time, like overweight and miserable. And what he decided to do was he went on a juice cleanse, like a juice fast. And it's just basically where you don't eat anything, you just drink juiced fruits and juiced vegetables. Oh, which by the way, I completely forgot to mention that through all of this, like on top of my other health things that I've mentioned, I also became hypoglycemic after having my son, I don't know why I completely forgot to mention this, where I basically had to eat every few hours. And it also was a huge reason why I had a hard time losing weight, was because I had to eat every few hours. So anyways, back to the movie. So I watched this movie, and this guy, like, he lost so much weight, his health issues like turned around, and I was just like, that's what I need to do. You know, I don't just need to be vegetarian. I don't just need to be vegan. I need to be raw and just eat all natural foods. So that's basically what I did. Yeah, it was just a very simple diet. So what I did was, the only things I was allowed to eat were fruits, vegetables, nuts and seeds, grains like rice and bulgur and barley, things like that that are grains. And then I would also eat beans. And the diet was simple, but it was not easy to do by any means, because I love food. Like I said, I love burgers. I love everything like that. And so it was very difficult, especially because my body was going through a transition. It was like, whoa, what are we doing? Because it was like a major overhaul of my internal system, like as like my reaction to the cleanse and the detox. Was one of the things I noticed was like, I remember like I think it was like the day after I started, like my legs were actually really weak and really shaky. Like I remember taking my daughter to the park and just like running with her and just feeling good running and like using my energy. And I'll put a few pictures, because I did track like what I looked like. I took like before and after pictures, but also kind of in between pictures, and I'll put those up as well, of what I looked like through the process. And I just saw the difference, and I was like tracking how much weight I lost. And total, I lost about I think 45 pounds total. I finally felt comfortable in my own body. And it's more just about just feeling comfortable in my own body and feeling healthy and feeling happy. And something else I wanted to include in this video is that I do not believe that I am like a perfect raw vegan. Like I just, you know, I don't think that anyone should be like, oh, well, that's not raw, or oh, you're eating something that's not vegan. Because for me, we shouldn't judge what other people eat or don't eat. For me, like I don't, like my husband and my daughter, like they eat meat. I haven't forced my diet on either of them. They, you know, try to eat healthy, and I feed them healthy stuff, but they still eat meat and they still eat dairy, and I don't see anything wrong with that. I'm not perfect, like, and nobody is. So sometimes I eat things that are not quote unquote raw vegan, and I think that's fine. I just hope that this video helps you guys. I just mostly want to encourage just healthy, you know, just being healthy and being happy. And, you know, if you can't do the raw vegan thing, that's okay. Like, it doesn't matter. We're all, you know, going through our own journeys. And I think that it's important not to judge others for what they eat. I'm really grateful for all of you guys, and I'm happy that I was able to share my experience with you. And as always, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my videos. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it with anyone that you think might benefit from seeing this video. Happy New Year, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.